I hope everyone can hear me. As you can see, here's my little selection of books. Let's start at the upper left corner. And here I have Killing Cupid by Laura Levine. As you can see, it's a library book. I have been reading this series. It's called the Jane Austen Mystery Series. Jane is spelled Jain, Austen. And this is a funny series. The lead character is just so humorous. Her cat that's in the picture right there, her cat Prozac, causes a lot of the humor. And there's always a little side story with Jane's parents, which I just get such a kick out of every single time I read these books. So this is one of her latest titles, Killing Cupid. I haven't read it yet. I did start a few pages in, and then for some reason I gave up, or it wasn't coming with me when I was going out, and I tend to read a lot when I'm out waiting for appointments and such. So I failed to grab it a few times and then just moved on to something else. So I highly recommend her series. The first book in the title, and the first book that I ever read, I believe, is called This Pen for Hire. Can you see that? This Pen for Hire. There are quite a few books in the series now. A good 12, maybe close to 15. I've read most of them. This is her latest, published in 2014. So I believe she has a new one in the works, or else it's in hardcover right now. So I hope to read this one soon and have some laughs, because I know I will. And moving down to a different genre, we have the Mother-Daughter Book Club. It's also a series. This is the first in the series, of course. And it's a middle grade read. I've decided to pick up some middle grade reads. They're just something I've always enjoyed reading, but I kind of put on the wayside for a while. So I thought, what the heck? I'm going to read some more. And I did one of the things that what prompted me to start up again was I was involved in a book blitz for a middle grade read called Reality Natalie, and that is on my book blog. And that book blitz has ended. But I reviewed it. I reviewed it on my blog, on Amazon, and on Goodreads as well. So if you look up Reality Natalie by Katie Sparks, you should find some great reviews there, and that was a good read. So this specific one, I was drawn to it. I like the mother-daughter aspect, even though my daughter, she's only 15 months old, so we won't be having any book clubs anytime soon, but I hope to do that down the road in the future. I think it's just fun to see what children these days are reading in middle grade. I know when I was young, my mom used to read what we read. If I was reading Judy Blume or whatnot, she read them too. So I hope I can keep on top of what my kids are reading. I love what this series does. Besides bringing mothers and daughters together, I like that it also brings in a classic book. And specifically for this one, they bring in Little Women. So this book parallels with Little Women, which I think is kind of cool. The second title in the series is called Much Ado About Anne. And so that book will parallel with Anne of Green Gables. I mean, who doesn't love Anne of Green Gables? So I'm partway through this book. I'm enjoying it a lot, and I can't wait to read more. On to the next book. Pardon my floor, some clothes fell off my bench. Brown Eggs in Jam Jars. I was so lucky to have received this copy from Penguin Canada. It's a cookbook. The author, Amy Wimbush-Bourque, I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm just going to say Amy Wimbush-Bourque. I am not French, even though I live in a very French area. Based her book on her website, her popular website called Simple Bites. And she is into homesteading and anything to do with canning and preserving your food. She has chickens. She buys locally, organic, all that great stuff that is in the news nowadays. I admit I don't do it all, but I do cook most of my food from scratch. I'm not at the point to obviously owning my own chickens. I know not everybody can do that. I don't always buy organic, but I like the ideas in here. She has great tips on how to get kids involved in the kitchen, and I really, really love that. So, because I have one eater who's a little picky, my 5-year-old, so I try to get him involved in the kitchen as much as possible, and that seems to help a little bit. Anyway, this is just a beautiful book. The pictures are gorgeous of her and her family. You can see it's a chapter on homesteading right there, how to build raised garden beds. Obviously, she has a lot more land than some of us get. It's just gorgeous. I did try a few recipes already. I have tried the maple sriracha pumpkin seeds, roasted pumpkin seeds, and they were delicious. I also made some cookies as well. So that is this book. I think it's a great book. I don't know if it's available. No, it should be available in the States because I know she did a tour, a book tour, and she did go to Austin, Texas. So I assume it is in the States, actually. And finally, I have a book on my Kobo. I had to leave it sleeping so that you could see what the picture looked like, or the cover of the book. It's called The Forgotten Girls by Alexa Steele. And it's just one of those books that was free on Kobo, and I just thought, hey, I'm gonna download that. And I really, really like it. It's very well written as far as I'm concerned. I'm really enjoying it. The mystery is interesting. The lead characters are interesting. And as you can see, it says down there, book 1 in the Suburban Murder series. So perhaps there will be more. And I have it downloaded on my trusty Kobo that I bought used. And it hasn't failed me in about 4 years. It's been great. Like I said, I do read both traditional books and ebooks. So I'm just going to switch back to my face.